First episode of What's Under That Bridge. Today...
Oh fuck, I lost the bridge.
Okay, welcome to What's Under That Bridge. Today, as you can see, we've got a lovely example of quality bridgemanship. So I'm going to take a quick trip around the bridge, because this show isn't what's on top of that bridge, it's what's under that bridge. I think for you to get any good sense of what the underneath of any bridge is like, we need a good durability test of the bridge. Well, as you can see, the bridge is extremely sturdy and will withstand even the most heavy of objects, such as a bus. So I think now it is time for the show's namesake. What's under that bridge? As you can see, there is a lot of stuff under this bridge. Far at the back, which we'll take a closer look at in a second, is mud, which is usually in most of the bridges around this area, there is usually mud all across the bridge. But this one is a special exception because there, as you can see, there's a lot of water. And in the water, there's a lot of green stuff. There's a lot of trash, like the concept of this show, and there's living creatures. This bridge is a perfect ecosystem, perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
There are living creatures, not there is living creatures.
This episode of What's Under That Bridge is sponsored by Community.
So as you can see, this is a nice close-up of the water, and that is a stick, which is now under the bridge. Because this is pointless, honestly. What the fuck are we doing?
That is not a dog.
That
It is
dogs
indeed a
and
shark.
sharks cohabit within this bridge.
Okay, so that is indeed not a shark, it's a dog. But that does not just prove that there may in fact be sharks in this water. Anyway, so I think we've looked enough at sort of quite surface level at what's actually in this water and what's under the bridge. There's nothing special on the roof either. I mean, yeah, there's just a roof. Now I'm going to call in my mud expert to examine this mud that's over here. So we have said before that most bridges have mud all the way under them, right? It's because it's the season, that's what happens at this time of year.
Yes.
So, is there anything special about this mud and this bridge that causes it to only be there?
Well, I'll take a closer look at the mud right now, but I can explain that there is a minimal level of mud under this bridge.
Yeah.
Because this is not regular mud; it is weak mud, which allows the water to sift through, and thus there is a lot of water, and it allows the tadpoles to live. Anyway, we're going to take a closer look at this mud now. We can see this mud here. It is some pristine mud. It is full of plant matter, you see.
But I can also see that it is sort of weaker than other mud I've seen. There's
yes.
a lot of plant matter.
That is because of the plant matter, indeed.
Interesting. So does the plant matter make it weak mud?
The plant matter does weaken it. And if you look closer at this mud, you can see that this is more than mud. There are like...
I see what you mean,
This is food grade mud.
You see. So we could eat this mud?
Yes.
Is there any sort of preparation you need to make to sort of make it... to make it better to eat, or can you just eat it could I just grab a handful and eat it right now?
You could grab a handful and eat it right now. There would be no... But the taste is not ideal.
Okay, well, I'm not going to do that, because I had a big lunch, and I don't want to eat mud. That is truly fascinating. Thank you so much, Mud Expert.
It's great
I think we're going to cut to the panel discussion now. We've seen a lot of what's under the bridge. So now, the final segment of our show, the panel interview. We've got our Mud Expert from before.
Happy to be here.
We've got... What exactly qualifies you to be here talking about
I'm
bridges?
an expert in the mathematical applications of topology in order to construct very nice, very secure bridges.
I see, that's very interesting. Anyway, before we get into the panel interview, I found a piece of the bridge under the bridge. So all you have to do is leave a comment and you could win this piece of bridge.
The bridge is under the bridge. How can you say that anything else is under the bridge than the bridge?
Interesting. Well, we'll get to the questions now. So, first question for the panel interview. Okay. So you mentioned you're an expert in how bridges are constructed. Sort of a question to both of you. Due to what you're an expert in, how would you improve this bridge?
Well, you see, I'm quite happy with the food grade levels of the mud under the bridge, including the flies. The flies, not so great, but the tadpoles are of great nutritional value. I'm not an expert in bridge construction, so I can't say much to that. But I could say that the roof could be more forgiving, more allowing for plants to grow under that bridge.
Yeah.
Thus, we gain more food from this particular bridge there.
You were the one who also durability tested the bridge, so I think you have a lot of knowledge about the actual construction of the bridge. It differs a lot from the message of the show, but I think it is an interesting look. So what would you do to improve the bridge?
Well, I think that the construction of the bridge is intimately related to what is found under the bridge. We have constructed numerous mathematical models. There are a few competing ones. There's the Hybrid-Skavinsky model and also the model. of what can be found under a bridge
Ah,
based on
yes.
topology. For instance, one might look at this bridge and you might say that the roof does not allow for plant growth. But I would in fact say I would agree, but for different reasons. I would not recommend that the roof of the bridge be raised. I would recommend that it be lowered. It's for two reasons. Firstly, it'll be more forgiving for cyclists and people to ride over and walk over. But secondly, and more importantly to the construction of the dirt, it will create a microclimate zone between the bridge bottom and what is under the bridge. This may serve to make it more humid, and also may allow for more efficient water redistribution rather than having the water vapors flow out from under the side of the bridge, which is more conducive to enlightening plant growth.
I think, okay, very interesting. Your opinions are both very valid, but you gave a serious answer, and that's bullshit. So I think, Shark, you are the winner of this panel discussion.
So, in review, what was under that bridge? Well, the list of things that were under that bridge are mud, trash, a stick, tadpoles, and flies. This all resulted in a perfectly balanced and very good ecosystem. And there was nothing on the roof.
Okay, so that's it for the first episode of What's Under That Bridge. Be sure to hit that like button, smash the like button and hit subscribe and hit the bell to become part of the notification squad. Remember, if you leave a comment, you could win this piece of the actual bridge. This is, I'm not lying, this is authentic, actual bridge. So that's it. Remember to stay, bridge. Peace. What the fuck are we doing?